Toastmaster Club, and I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all of you who encouraged me to join this club. And thankfully I joined last week, and today I am here to introduce our president of Periyar Club, and I will also welcome him. But before welcoming, I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of our club. And this is our 322 meeting, and I believe this is the first meeting with new team members. So before introducing our president, I would like to convey one ground rule. And what is the ground rule for today? That please keep your all mobiles and all electronic gadget in silent mode, or please switch off it, so we can carry on our meetings smoothly without any distractions. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce our new president, Mr. Sivadasa. He is very enthusiastic, and I am very impressed with his leadership quality, and he is very dedicated to convey the timely manner all the messages he convey to his team to bring the quality and bring the values to the meetings. So please help me to welcome Mr. Sivadasa on stage, and please give the applause. Thank you very much. Now, close it for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that nice introduction. I feel energized and motivated. Before moving on today's procedures, let us introduce our guests. If none, I have two guests. So, just two colleagues joined today. One Mr. Manoj Krishnan, he is already a Toastmaster in Muscat, right?
Yes.
And he joined our online meetings, few online meeting already. And he is around 6 months before he joined in Darvico, and possibly I believe he will join Periyar Toastmasters Club soon, because he's already completed his level 3 projects in Muscat and all. He knows Sunil all are very well actually. So because of this is the gift of online meeting. That time he came to know. Then once he joined, I came to know that he is also a Toastmaster, so he need to restart his Toastmaster journey. And another person is Mr. Hari Krishnan. He last week joined in our company. So we welcome with thunderous round of applause both Mr. Manoj Krishnan and Hari. Thank you all. Any other guests? So,
Other than that, we have our Vedant is there, youth leader Vedant. He is our special guest today.
thank you. Thank you. And
Yes, we have Joel also. Youth leader Joel, she is also our special guest.
thank you. That's all. So welcome youth leaders. Please make this a habit, and request all the parents, at least one parents to join. They can continue their onward journey as Toastmasters. We all are there. Together we learn, together we grow. Like that actually. So fellow Toastmasters, youth leaders and guests, a scintillating good evening to all. You all are know this is the first meeting of this term. Dear friends, remember the past with gratitude. Leave the present with enthusiasm. Look forward the future with confidence. Dear all, we all have attitude of gratitude. Dear immediate past President ETM Harish and rejuvenated team, you set a great groundwork for this club, because you are not bothered about inside the Toastmasters Club, but you elevated this club to other than Toastmaster activity, especially the YLP and all. Because you created history, and whatever the paper, we doesn't care about that actually. We already highlighted during our divisional team and all. What we conveyed to the society, that is more important rather than what we achieved in purpose. So now it is our challenge to make this club vibrant among the Toastmasters fraternity. I believe together with the support of all of you, we will create another history in Toastmasters fraternity in the year 2022 and 2022. And another thing, because always I told you, gratitude is the most common habit of every individual should possess. DTM Manoj, you created history in YLP also. The punctuality, the coordination, everything was very, very effective. Every time we are learning, and this also we created history among the Toastmasters fraternity, because earlier we, myself and Harish, when we conduct the YLP, it is around 70,000, 100,000 like that it is required. But we cut shorted and we given the quality. That is more important. And it is not a matter when I point out the name of DTM Bichu and Toastmaster Sab and all of you, you supported this journey, and please support me in all my team, because we are just starting, because earlier it was all online meeting, now we are going to start offline meetings. Sorry, offline meetings, because the venue all are, because we cannot be able to conduct all the meetings in a hotel or something like that, because our financial status is not so that much of stable, but we will see the potential possibility, because already Jubail and other Toastmasters Club already requested the joint meeting. So if we see that aspects also, we will look into that opportunities. But anyway, be in touch, we all, because it is not a matter of one president or excom, it is the matter of everybody, because club itself is everybody support, because nobody can sustain alone. All activities can be done through teamwork only, because teamwork leads to more success than rather than any individual objective. So I am sure you all will support us, and we will make this club more vibrant in Toastmasters fraternity. With a little message, I think more our assignees are yet to join, because it's first meeting, we are expecting all of them to join. To conduct today's sessions, let me call upon today's captain of these education sessions. I am so fortunate that I had introduced this multi-talented Toastmaster to this club. So he is the immediate past VP Education of our club and current secretary. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Ravi Kumar Nair as Toastmaster of the day. Thank you, sir. The floor is yours.
Thank you, President, for that encouraging introduction. And fellow Toastmasters, vibrant youth leaders, distinguished guests, a warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
As Toastmaster Day, today my duty is to conduct the education session very efficiently and an interesting, to make the evening an interesting one. So I will try my level best to do so. Anyway, I will drag a little bit, because all the assignees has not yet reached. So I will be conducting it very slowly. I am honored to host this today's meeting, especially when Periyar has just successfully culminated the Periyar YLP, and Periyar YLP flag is flying high among other Toastmaster Club in Division L. And my sincere gratitude, I am expressing my sincere thanks to the Chief Coordinator Manoj C. Nair and the Assistant YLP Coordinator Toastmaster Sabu Glitas, ex-President DTM Harish Bhargavan, and our current President DTM Shivadas Bhaskaran. Their donation, their efforts was just instrumental to bring up this YLP program to a successful one. Let's give them a thunderous round of applause once again. Other than that, the happy news is Periyar is getting into its 15th year of Toastmastering. So once again, congratulations to the leaders who has kept it going till now, and with the confidence of new Toastmasters that joined, I am pretty confident that this will move forward in the coming years as well. Other than that, we have the youth leaders who has joined with us today, and it's also a new journey for the youth leaders along with our Toastmastering meeting. So I have selected the theme as a new beginning. So let me come to my theme by asking a question. Don't you think that a new beginning is always is a new learning also.
Yes.
Yes, you all agree, right? Now let's imagine two scenarios where the senior citizens all here are put in a LKG class and they are learning A equal to A for apple, B for ball, C for cat. Just imagine how will it is. And the other scenario is the youth leaders here has put into an engineering class and learning enthalpy changes in thermodynamics, okay, something like that, or the vector theory, Thevenin's theorem of electricity, how it will be. Do you think both these groups will learn anything from these classes? They will not learn, obviously, because both these groups are like in both these scenarios, the seniors may understand ABCD, but for sure they will take long time to understand, to learn it, because they have already grown up seasoning one without any studies till at this age. And on the other hand, it will be too difficult for you youth leaders to understand bigger class syllabus, and it will take long also for you to understand those things. That is why our school syllabus is designed based upon the human psychology, that you learn the right thing at the right time. You learn the right thing at the right time. So you youth leaders had the opportunity to learn something at the right time of your age. I must say that it was a golden opportunity that you all received, and hence just cling on to it, and no doubt that you all will become a successful speaker, public speaker in future. And you have got to learn something at the right time, and it will be always within you. What is all needed is a just slight push. You all know that every great achievement started with a single step, and every invention started with a new thought. As the well-known philosopher Plato rightly pointed out, that the beginning is the most important work or important part of any work. Hence, let's start with a credence. A new beginning with credence. Periyar is also entering to a new Toastmastering year with this meeting, and I have full confidence that each of you Toastmasters present here, with all your cooperation, we shall successfully keep running Periyar for the years to come. And I wish all the best for each of you. And remember, well begun is half done. So I think other assignees has also joined us. So by sharing this noble thought, let us start this educational session for the day. To conduct today's session, we have an interesting mixture of veteran as well as youth leaders. So let me introduce them one by one. Today's grammarian and word master is the present Area 69 director, a very hardworking and soft-spoken Toastmaster, DTM Shivu Xavier. Could you please come to the lectern and explain your role as grammarian and word master?
Thank you, Toastmaster of today, for the nice words and the patience. Toastmaster of today, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, lovely youth leaders. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. I have a dual role to play this evening as the word master and grammarian. As the word master, my task to introduce a new word and motivate everyone to use it. As you know, vocabulary is an important aspect in our life. Without knowing words, it would be impossible to name objects around us or communicate with other people. The more words you know, the more you will be able to understand what you hear and read. And the better you will be able to say what you want to when speaking or writing. The objectives of word of the day is to encourage everyone to use a specific word throughout this education session and your future communications. Today's word of the day is credence. It's a noun form, and the meaning of credence is to believe or acceptance of something as true. Synonyms: belief, faith, credit, and confidence. I have two examples. Periyar has a credence among Toastmasters fraternity. You will agree with that, right? A lot of hard work is required to earn credits. Everyone will agree with me, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much. As the grammarian, I will carefully listening to all the speeches and note down the good usages, colorful phrases, and of course the not so good usages. I shall present my report at the end of the evaluation session when called by the general evaluator. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shibu Savior, for introducing the word of the day. Today's general evaluator is DTM Bijusia. I will introduce him in the evaluation session later. Can I ask DTM Bijusia to acknowledge his presence?
Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests and lovely youth leaders. Good evening to all.
Good evening.
As general evaluator, my role is to observe and evaluate the entire proceedings from the beginning to end of the meeting and lead a constructive evaluation when called upon to do so. I will wrap up the entire proceedings of the meeting by complementing the good practices and highlight the areas needed for
Thank you, DTM Bijusia. Our TT Master today is a youth leader Vedant Kumar. He is an eloquent speaker. He always crafts his speech very carefully, and his speeches are always informative. That's what I have seen in the videos. Youth leader Vedant Kumar, could you please explain your role as TT
Good
Master?
evening, dear Toastmaster guests and all the youth leaders. I am the table topic master for today, and my role as a table topic master is to provide the table topic speakers with a topic to speak on for 1 to 2 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Youth leader Vedant Kumar. Today's timer is relatively a newcomer but a promising speaker, Toastmaster Vikrant Kumar. Where is he?
Yes.
Oh, yes, there you go. Okay. Very talented and committed Toastmaster Vikrant Kumar. Could you please explain your role as timer, please?
Thank you very much, dear Toastmaster of the day today, and Toastmasters and our guests, as well as our youth leaders. So today my role is to evaluate for the timer of speech and evaluator and TT. So the specified time has been given by Mr. President to me. So I will capture the timing given by all evaluators, speakers, and TT speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vikrant Kumar. Next, our vote counter is again a youth leader Jewel Roshan. She was the contest chair for international speeches in the youth leadership program. She has done a wonderful job. May I ask youth leader Jewel Roshan, could you please explain your role as vote counter?
Dear Toastmasters, guests, and youth leaders, warm greetings to all.
Good evening.
As a vote counter, I will distribute the voting slip and is responsible for collecting the ballot for preparing speech, TT topics, and evaluation. I will count the ballot and declare the winner when called upon to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, youth leader Jewel Roshan. Fellow Toastmasters, these are the leaders who are going to take us through this meeting today. Give them a thunderous round of applause. Now it is time to move to the prepared speech session, and hope all the speakers and evaluators are ready. Right? So, fellow Toastmasters, our first speaker tonight is Toastmaster Sushil Gupta. He is currently serving as the VP Education of this club and is a promising speaker and a dedicated Toastmaster. Toastmaster Sushil Gupta is delivering his Level 2 Project 1 from the Pathways Manual Effective Speaking, and his evaluator is our immediate past president DTM Harish Bhargavan. DTM Harish Bhargavan, could you please read out the objectives from the Pathways Manual?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Sushil Gupta, the objective today is to deliver a thought-provoking speech based on his original experience. All the best to the speaker.
Thank you, DTM Harish Bhargavan. Now, let us put our hands together to welcome Toastmaster Sushil Gupta. And the title of his speech is "It is okay to be a quiet person." It is okay to be a quiet person by Toastmaster Sushil Gupta. Let's have a handshake.
This is. Yeah, that one we can put off.
It's in ice.
Excuse me.
Thank you. Do you like movies, especially Hindi movies?
Yes.
Have you seen Three Idiots?
Yes.
Do you remember its dialogue, very famous dialogues? At least some of them. Yes, good. Do you remember the definition of machine which Chatur says in that film? Anybody remembers?
It was a long.
No. What is that? I will tell you. I have the definition.
Makes your life easier.
Machines are any combinations of bodies so connected that their relative motions are constrained, and by which means force and motions may be transmitted and modified as a screw and its nuts, or a lever arranged to a turn about a fulcrum, or a pulley about its pivot, etc. Do you remember that? You cannot repeat that because you cannot remember, right?
Yes.
And neither I. Dear friends, actually, it is not important actually how much you say, but it is important what you say. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, youth leaders. A very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Outside the Toastmaster Club, I actually does not talk very much. I am often called a very quiet person. However, a few months back, I hosted a holy celebration that was a get-together. And after the celebration, I received the comments from many of my friends and their families. First time I know that Sushil can speak and like this. Then I realized actually, and many people told me many times that Sushil, you need to speak more, because people will not understand or remember you unless you will say more. Then I think in myself, is it really bad to be a quiet person? Actually, I was not like that since beginning. I was very talkative. I was very outspoken. In my school days, once actually I was beaten very hard by one of my teachers because I was talking. And even then, there was no improvement in me. But all of a sudden, at that time, my elder brother was diagnosed with a cancer. There was a long treatment, but even then, he could not survive. And after 3 years, I lost my mother, and then my father. And these incidents broke me. And I realized that I was speaking so much in the discussions, whether it is really useful, whether these are adding value to my life process, especially for me. So under these circumstances, I found that it is not good for me to indulge in those type of discussions because I have something else to do for my family. And since then, actually, I was very straightforward person. And then I learned about the silence. Are you silent? Are you really silent? I don't think so. Because you are thinking something inside you. You are making some comments about me. You are evaluating me. You are thinking what other persons are wearing on. You are appreciating it, depreciating it. You cannot be silent unless you don't think that you are smart. You have something inside you. That's something spiritual. I will not go about that. But you are still thinking about something. So you are silent. That's good. But in the spiritual manner, you are not really silent. So we don't want to be that much silent actually. And when I say the silence, it does not mean that you should not say anything at all, but you should speak when it is really required. Is it that how much we say matters or what we say that counts? In one of the Toastmasters meeting, and that was the very best part of that Toastmaster meeting that every Toastmaster loves, table topic. So table topic master called a girl and given him a topic. What was the best moment in your life? He froze. She was not staring here and here or froze. She just froze. 10 seconds passed. 20 seconds passed. 30 seconds passed. Then her lips trembled. And finally she spoke. When my mother says, she believed me. What do you say about that? If she was not in the Toastmaster club, does she need to say anything more to express herself? I don't think so. So ladies and gentlemen, I believe and I learned that it is okay to be a quiet person. And you have also proven that in this speech, in this Toastmaster club, that you will not be remembered by how much you say, but what you say. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sushil Gupta. It's perfectly okay to be a quiet person in your terms. Moving on, we have our second speaker tonight, again a youth leader Divya Srita. She is an eloquent speaker and very calm and composed character. She has bagged second place in the international category. And today, youth leader Divya Srita is delivering one of the speeches from the international category, and youth leader Siddharth Manoj, I think he's not here, so Toastmaster Shivadas will be her evaluator. Now, let us put our hands together to welcome youth leader Divya Srita.
Peep, peep, peep. very slowly he was reversing to park exactly in the available space. But thump! It hit a small pillar which was at the back, which he didn't notice, leading to a small damage in the bumper. Distinguished Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders and guests, I couldn't believe it. Dad, my superhero, missed a spot. He's very good at driving. And yet, how could this happen? I was pondering my mind with these questions. And my dad said, yes, Divya, it was my mistake. I was checking only the front and both sides of the car, but failed to see the back side properly. I should have sought for your support to make you get down and guide me. Or I should have scanned before reversing so that I parked it safely. This was a small incident, even though if it had been a minor damage, it would have been okay. But I couldn't believe, what if it was a deep pit and he failed to notice it? Later, he got a rear view camera fixed, so such incidents will not recur in future. From that day onwards, my dad said that he got a complete 360-degree view of our car, which helps to save both our car and the surroundings from any such events. Dear Toastmasters, this incident gave us a very important life lesson, that in any situation, whatever we see is just an outcome or an overview of all the activities. It is just the tip of the iceberg that we see, but we may not enough to take an action. We need to go beyond, to have a deep insight, to check all the hidden risks and possibilities of whatever task we perform. Few months back, when the offline classes started, I was asked by my school authorities to check if a sport day event could be conducted, as it was pending for the last 2 years. When I was discussing this with my dad, he said and suggested me to follow the 360-degree vision principle in my daily chores to avoid any surprises. He said that having a 360-degree vision means that we are thinking beyond of what we normally think. It takes into consideration of the possible outcomes and the advantages and disadvantages of whatever task we perform. To have a 360-degree vision means that we will be capable and easily solve any task we perform. And to attain this 360-degree vision is to develop a pros and cons list. The pros, which are the possible good outcomes, and the cons, the possible bad outcomes. Now when we write down both of these in a piece of paper, by looking at it, we could simply tell what would be the right decision for that problem. And as a task leader, when my dad told this, I took this as an opportunity and followed the 360-degree vision principle and started collecting inputs from my fellow students, teachers, and parents. The outcome of my survey was to not conduct the sport day event at that moment because the cons outweighed the pros. Hence, I submitted my report to the authorities and got them convinced by showing my 360-degree vision principle. And they decided to park the decision until the situation eases. Dear Toastmasters, in our lives we might face a lot of problems, but the easiest and the best solution is to remain calm, think about that solution, think about that problem, write down the pros and cons list of that problem, and you could easily find your solution. As Albert Einstein once said, if you have 1 hour to solve a problem, spend 50 minutes in finding the relevant information to solve it, which hence gives you only 10 minutes
to find the right solution. In life, we might have a lot of problems, but not the solutions. It is important to follow the 360-degree vision principle in our personal and professional life and find our life solution. Peep, peep, peep. No crashes, no deaths. It's all now safe to park. Thank you.
Thank you, youth leader Divya Sridhar. We will try to follow the 360-degree view to solve the problems coming across in our life. And I'm sorry that I forgot to announce your title of the speech. It was 360 degrees. And our third speaker tonight is a champion speaker, Toastmaster Sabu Cletus, a pleasant personality. He has always amazed his audience with his body language and voice modulations. He has won many accolades in the area and club level. He was the assistant coordinator for our recent youth leadership program also. Today, Toastmaster Sabu Cletus is delivering his level 3 project 2 from Pathways Dynamic Leadership. And DTM Manoj Singh Nair is his evaluator. DTM Manoj Singh Nair, could you please read out the objectives from the Pathways manual?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Toastmaster Sabu Cletus is attempting his level 3 project 2 from Pathway Manual. And the objectives is narrating a story which is valuable to all of you. And hopefully he will do it in the right manner. Over to.
Thank you, DTM Manoj Singh Nair. The title of the speech is Look of Our Lifetime. The Look of Our Lifetime by Toastmaster Sabu Cletus. Please give him a round of applause.
There she stands like a living statue. A beautiful girl with a traditional skirt and blouse, standing at the village square all alone. The cruel sun of April is merciless for her beauty. She is burning like a coal. Her face is tensed with indignation and anger. She moved and looked at the group of people shouting at her. Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, lovely children, warm good evening.
Good evening.
That 21-year-old girl standing at the village square was Smita Thomas. She is the most beautiful girl in our village. She is soft-spoken and always looking down. Once she is moving, her skirts kisses the road as he moves. That was the radiant beauty of her. I feel Lord Brahma might have taken a couple of days to create her. Such was her radiant beauty. Fellow Toastmasters, the international theory, the beauty and intelligence inversely proportional. Same case, our Smita Thomas. I am so lucky because here there is no Madam Toastmasters. She was famous about her intelligence, on the same time her lack of intelligence, and on the same time her beauty. The first day or the first examination, that is secondary examination, she failed 3 times, and last 4th time he succeeded anyway. Unfortunately, higher secondary is a Herculean task for her. The first scene we saw in the first, that was the day her higher secondary exam results were announced. As usual, when Smita Thomas was failed. That was her 4th attempt. It was a gleeful satisfaction among the villagers, those who are jealous about her beauty. They are waiting for her. Once she reached there in the town, they started howling at her in unison. As usual, she moved her slow pace. But the howling is going the peak. She stopped there and lifted her face and turned towards her thesis. Suddenly, the howling stopped. They never expected such reaction from her. Then she kept down and moved away from there. Periyar Masters, that was a decision in her life. Believe me, the 5th attempt she passed with first class. After she joined for BCom in a private college, when her exam results were declared, the whole village came to know that her picture was on the front page of newspaper. She passed with the 3rd rank. Believe me. That was the decision. And now she is the deputy collector in Kerala. This is how deep it is. This is a small revenge taken by a poor little girl. How did he did it? He examined herself and decided to change herself within. We also had a lot of experience, same like Smita Thomas. What we are doing? We usually go with our comfort zone and never take any challenges in our life. Let me share my example. When I joined Periyar Toastmasters, my first icebreaker was utter failure. I took around 12 minutes to complete that with 3 breaks in between. Toastmasters, if I decided and go back to my comfort zone, I never stand in front of you. Because I decided, I looked to myself, I decided to change within me. This is the examples in our life. We have to decide, we have to take a decision to change from within us. Failure is not a fate. It's a sure shortcut for the success. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam once said, fail is just first fail, F-A-I-L. Fail is first attempt in learning. Yes, those masters learn from the failure and look ourselves, change within yourself. You will be a successful person. Okay.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sabuklitus, for bringing up the story of Smita Thomas. I wish I had that determination power. Fellow Toastmasters, we have come to the end of the prepared speech session. Now, can I have the timers report? Toastmaster Vikram.
So, first speaker, Toastmaster Mr. Sushil Gupta. It took 6 minutes 55 seconds, so he is within the time limit. And second, our youth leader, Divya Bhaskar. Divya Sridhar, she completed her speech in 5 minutes 47 seconds. So she also completed her speech within the time limit. And our third speaker, DTM Mr. Sabuk Nitar, he completed his speech in 6 minutes 22 seconds. So he also completed within the time limit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vikrant Kumar. Excellent job. All the 3 speakers are qualified. So I will request the vote counter to distribute the slips, and all the members, please cast your votes for the best speaker. And it's time for the break actually. Do we need a break?
We can continue, right?
Let's continue. Yeah.
COT is going on after, we can continue.
Okay. So next is the evaluation session.
No, TT.
Okay, sorry. Next is the TT session. For conducting the TT session, we have youth leader Vedant Kumar. So I please put your hands together to welcome youth leader Vedant Kumar.
Dear Toastmasters, youth leaders, and all my dear guests, a very warm good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
I am your TT Master Vedant Kumar, and I will be handing out topics to the TT speakers. Help me invite the first Toastmaster Manoj Krishnan, for his table topic. Toastmaster Manoj Krishnan. Toastmaster Manoj Krishnan, your first topic is where do you find peace? Where do you find peace? Toastmaster Manoj Krishnan.
Table topic master, my dear fellow Toastmasters, guests and my dear friends. Where do I find peace? It's our, I must say, it's our perspective. When, for example, when we are very, when we are looking for money and if we win a lottery, that's peace. And when we are in Dubai, it's a very faded place, nothing is there, only you can see a lot of fumes coming out from the industries. And when we see a lot of colorful people like you, it's peace. And when I can I can smell the order, the delicious order from that food, a hungry person like me can find peace. So that's it. It depends on the perspective of the person, and depends on the situation where the peace comes from. Over to your table topic, master.
Now help me invite the second table topic speaker, Toastmaster Hari Krishnan.
Hi.
Toastmaster Hari Krishnan, your topic is who is your mentor and what have you learned from them? Who is your mentor and what have you learned from them? Toastmaster Hari Krishnan.
Thank you. Okay. So first of all, I'll just start with some first time in this kind of a gathering. So I don't know what are the gestures or the words need to be spoken. So I'll just speak as if I'm speaking in a normal meeting. So my mentor, okay, for each part of my life, I have found many mentors, but like most of them, my personal, the one to go will be my father, because for my case, like he has always been an ideal person. When I was like studying, okay, always like you will look up to someone when you speak, when you are growing up. So always my father was that figure, and till date he still is. For each and every often, like okay, you find many downsides in him, you find many good sides in, but I always focus on the good side and just forget about the bad sides and all this stuff. So for me, my father is the mentor for me. And apart from that, like when you go to new place, like say this Dubai, so I get to see many more mentors, and one such mentor is my favorite Shiva bro. And then there is this Manoj bro is also there. So they are also like mentoring through my career. So then I have gone to many career mentors also. So this is a small topic about my mentors. Thank you.
Now help me welcome the third speaker, our president, Toastmaster Shavidas.
Dear friends, we are taking this table topics in Russell perspective. That's why we agreed together. Okay. You all are from Brazil.
Toastmasters Vedas uncle, your topic is how would you describe your future in 3 words? How would you describe your future in 3 words? Toastmasters Vedas.
I describe my future a vibrant Toastmasters year for the year 2020 to 2023. Because that is the reason I always believe togetherness is always a strength. Because if a person is individual, they cannot do anything. The first example, let us go through the recently conducted YLP program. Right? Manu Sinhar alone could not do anything. So it is a culmination of so many persons, it's a culmination of so many abilities, and it's a wisdom of our president, DTF Harish Bhargavan. So my aim for this, especially how we can become a prominent Toastmasters club, especially the Periyar Toastmasters club, should be best one. Because I remember when myself was the VP Education and DTM Viju CR was the president, we got one of the best club awards from District 79. Because nothing is impossible. If I have a clear vision, if I have people to guide us, everything is possible. So as I want to conclude my table topic speeches, my vision is to make this Toastmasters club more vibrant and give so much possible capacities to our youth leaders, because youth leaders are always the next brain, right? Because we are gaining a lot from them actually. So our aim is to make, maybe if everything is possible, we will conduct one more YLP program, because we learn. Because earlier we all under the impression that YLP is a Herculean task, but when our Harish and myself, it is possible. Because we have a person like around us, so many talented persons are there. Now you see how the youth leaders are performing, so everything is possible. So my vision is to make this Periyar Toastmasters Club more vibrant in Toastmasters fraternity in the year 2022 and 2023. Thank you so much. Back to table topic. Hafiz.
Now help me welcome our 4th table topic speaker, Toastmaster Hafiz. Toastmaster Hafiz uncle, your topic is who do you turn when you need a good advice? Who do you turn when you need a good advice? Toastmaster Hafiz uncle.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Still, I am not officially a Toastmaster. And it's not fair, Roshan. You invited me as a guest and you didn't. Who do I turn to when I need advice? Obviously, my wife. Because you cannot go against her and be at home peacefully. The most wanted thing that you need after coming from office is peace. It's better to listen to what she says. So, I tell a small line in Malayalam? I think Innocent, he told in a movie, അനുസരണശീലം വളരെ അത്യാവശ്യമാണ് ഒരു വൈവാഹിക ജീവിതത്തിൽ. So that I thought was very good advice, and so I have a lot of peace in my life. Thank you.
Evaluations. Yes. The table topic session is open, and I would now like to invite the Toastmaster.
Timing, Manu. Timing.
Okay, I will request for that. Can we have the time support?
So, Toastmaster Mr. Manoj Krishnan, he took exactly 1 minute, so within time limit. And second, Mr. Toastmaster Hari Krishnan, he took 1 minute 25 seconds. So he is also completed his table topic within time limit. Third is Mr. DTM, our president, Mr. Sivadas. He completed his table topic in 1 minute 44 seconds. So he is also within the time limit. And fourth, our half Toastmaster, Mr. Hafiz. He completed his table topic in 1 minute 07 seconds. So all of you completed it within the time limit.
Thank you, Vikrant. Thank you for the diverse report. Members, please vote for the best table topic speaker. And give a good round of applause for Vedant. Youth leader Vedant has conducted the TT session in style. Now let's go on to the evaluation session. Evaluation is a feedback session where we get the opportunity to realize our strengths and understanding the areas that require improvements to go further. To conduct the evaluations today, we have a very experienced and assiduous Toastmaster Biju CR, an eminent leader, a champion speaker, and has won many accolades in club area and in the divisional level. To conduct today's evaluation session, please help me welcome our general evaluator for today's meeting, Toast DTM Biju CR.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the elevated introduction. Thank you so much. Dear Toastmasters of the Day, fellow Toastmasters, shining youth leaders, and dear guests, warm good evening to all.
Good evening. Good evening.
The new beginning of Periyar under the astute leadership of DTM Shivadas, or their president and EXCOM team, is indeed a credence to my Toastmastering journey. The reason is DTM Shivadas introduced me to Periyar in 2012. Before starting the evaluation session, let me share the core benefit I received from this evaluation process in Toastmastering and how I implemented in my professional and personal life to a certain extent. The evaluation in Toastmasters always share the strength and the positive side of the speakers with high merit and inspire the speakers to stand on it. And the weakness or improvement points are minimized and highlighted in a very soft manner without any trouble to others. In fact, the Toastmasters, we are fast to appreciate and very slow to criticize, isn't it? Where it is the beneficial part, I would like to point out, I embrace this process and focus more on the strength of each personnel associated with me in projects. It resulted to get the optimum result and achieve the milestones and added value to the project management career. Moreover, I learned to look to the positive side of everyone around me. That makes me more comfortable and allowed to be like that. With this note, let us start the evaluation session. And today, to evaluate our speakers, we have vibrant evaluators. They are seasoned Toastmasters. Be ready to learn from them. To evaluate the first speech of Toastmaster Sushil Gupta, we have a leader who planted the seed of handling emotional intelligence in everyone's mind and taught us the way to relieve from amygdala hijack. So, he is an enthusiastic and energetic Toastmaster and my good friend. Fellow Toastmasters, please help me welcome to our DTM Harish Bhargav to evaluate Toastmaster Sushil Gupta.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today, after we reached the hall, after some time Sushil came, I asked him, Sushil, what are you going to speak about? He said, I am thinking about it. When he said, my title is, It's Okay to Be a Quiet Person. And did we feel that that speech was something that he crafted within that 5 minutes when he sat here?
No, never.
It was very interesting, very original. Right from the beginning, it was so captivating.
Yes.
I mean, he started with a question, and then who remembers the definition of a machine? So, it was like, it lends, let me be the first person to use the word today, it lends credence to his reputation as a spontaneous speaker. Toastmaster Sushil, that speech had so many qualities in you started it with humor and it went to the most profound aspects of life. And it was constructed out of your own experience because nobody else can deliver the speech. You told us how talkative you were and the dramatic changes in life. And that point you asked, except outside of Toastmasters, is there anything more a TT speaker need to speak about when such a question is asked? And that was very powerful. When a speaker says, when my mother says she loves me, that is the moment that makes me most happy. You captured so many things into that little sentence. Very, very powerful. Now, coming to the recommendations. It looked at sometimes that the gestures were preceding the speech. And it happens when you have to grope about what to speak next. And that happens because the speech wasn't properly structured. So an aspect you could work upon is that practice a little bit. It is a good strength you have to speak spontaneously, but the quality of the speech will improve manifold if you practice at least twice at home before delivering. And the second recommendation, the title said it's okay to be a quiet person, and the speech also said it's okay to be a quiet person. But is it just only okay? There are certain points where the power of silence is far more than the power of speaking. And there are certain places where silence cannot do anything. There we need to necessarily speak up. So even though both of them are equally, it is okay, both of them are okay in certain aspects, in certain areas, one thing distinctly or profoundly better than the other mode of communication. And those aspects could have been brought into the speech. If in that case, it would go far beyond just an ordinary speech. Just with that, I think it was amazing to listen to you. Best wishes and looking forward to see you emerge as a champion speaker.
Thank you, DTM Harish, for the precise evaluation of Toastmaster Sushil, and definitely he will be utilizing these points in the future projects. To evaluate the second prepared speech of youth leader Divya Srita, we have an epitome of dedication. He's my good friend, and there is a speciality, a special number related to him. You know what it is? It is 3. Number 3, because he is having 3 children, 3 flats, and 3 sisters, and like many 3s. That is special, and is a champion evaluator and TT speaker is none other than our dear President, DGM Shivadas.
At least this year, number 3 introduction need to be revoked. Toastmaster Vijus here. Anyway, thank you so much. Respected General Evaluator, fellow Toastmaster, and youth leader Divya Sridhar in particular. Divya, I am so fortunate to evaluate your speech because it gives some, because we don't know how to evaluate a person like your speech or something like that. But still, I will try my level best to evaluate your speech. According to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, silence and smile are 2 powerful tools. Smile to solve problems and silence to avoid problems. Youth leader Divya, you started the speech in amazing confidence actually. And the initial pace, beep, because you captivating the attention of audience very well. And you, in between, you introduce your speech in your own personal stories. So, because always personal story, there was an connectivity and there was an emotions. You succeeded all in that way. And you you were very confident as usual because we have seen from the youth leadership program onwards, because you are an amazing, and in between us every kids are telling that fathers are our superhero, right? Especially for the girl child, fathers are their superhero, because I lost my hero in 2021, but still life is always like that. But you elevated that 360 principles in a profound way. And the takeaway message for me from your speech is, every problem has a solution. You just have to be creative enough to find it. That is the takeaway message for your speech for me, and I believe for all of us this is the message. But every speech, because we are Toastmasters, always there is a scope for improvement. I have 2 recommendations to youth leader Divya. The first recommendation is that most of the time, because your pitch was the same order, because every speech can improve further, it can be enhanced if you adjust the voice in a peculiar manner. Because maybe we don't have mic or something like that, but if you incorporate this voice modulation, definitely you are all elegant speaker, but for the improvement. And one more thing, there was the introduction was very amazing, the body was very energetic, and conclusion. But every speech for takeaway message, in totality for a public is concerned, if you give a call for action in a strong way, that was also a little missing. But overall, you are a captivating speaker, you are a confident speaker. If you consider my 2 recommendations with regard to this voice modulation and the powerful conclusion, definitely we could see something special, especially you can reach the district 79 or more, because you have that confidence. So please sharpen your skills. Thank you so much, and back to Mr. Everybody.
Thank you, DTM Sivadas, for the valuable points which can certainly add value to Divya Sridhar in your future speech projects. And the next evaluator for the 3rd speech of Toastmaster Sabuklitas, we have an ever smiling person, the project manager by profession, and a spontaneous speaker on stage. And many of his speeches were ever memorable. And I don't want to mention some. Okay, so let me welcome our ever smiling Toastmaster DTM Manoj Sinai on podium for evaluating Toastmaster Sabuklitas.
Thank you, DTM B2, for that very elevating introduction. Toastmasters, fellow vibrant youth leaders, and my dear friends and guests, very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
And particularly our dear speaker, Toastmaster Sabuklitas. Toastmaster Sabuklitas is such a speaker who had the credence of captivating the moments. That's what I can say all about him. The credence lies in his body language, his voice modulation, his emotional interpretations. If you go through his whole speech, that powers captivated us throughout the speech. Am I right or not? Let us give him a round of applause. While evaluating your speech, I can found that your voice modulation was fantastic, body language was amazing, you came up with personal example, and emotional delivery was absolutely captivating. You also pointed out a message to the audience that never judge a book by its cover. Never judge a person with his looks, its attitude. So those points and the message had given value to your speech. Congratulations. As we Toastmasters, every speech has something to improve. And what I found in your speech was the title of the speech, which you should have used somewhere but was never used. The title was Look of a Lifetime, Look of Our Lifetime. that was not used that I found. I think some lack of practice was there because you forgot the title incorporating into your speech. And there was some unwanted pauses which I found here and there. That is also a part of lack of preparation. Conclusion should have been improved a little bit if you have practiced better. Other than these 2-3 recommendations, I found your speech was amazing and you have given a great message to all of us to carry home, and I wish you all the very best in your future speeches. Over to everybody.
Thank you, DTM Manoj, for the precise evaluation, and definitely our Toastmaster Sabu will get benefit out of it. And next is the evaluation of table topics. To evaluate the table topic speakers, we have a design professional in Sabi, a cool man, and his identity, when we remember, is smile on his face. But when he assigned for a task, he will be like a lion, and he will execute it perfectly. That is my good friend. It's none other than our VP Education Toastmaster, Roshan Patrick.
Thank you, Toastmaster Viju, for this kind and elite words. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank DTM Viju, because he was the one who introduced me to Toastmaster. And let me analyze the speech of Toastmaster Manoj. You are a Toastmaster by itself, so you have shown your precisely in your speech Toastmastering skills. So you started off with saying when you win a lottery, you get money, you look for peace, and the other part, what you highlighted is what you can see, what you can smell. These are also important parts of a person for peace. And looking for improvements, you could have given a small experience, a personal experience, how you felt happy. That could have added value. Next speaker is Hari Kumar. I must really congratulate him because when I asked him, he immediately responded. Even though he is not a Toastmaster, he immediately agreed to do it. And his topic was about mentoring, and he very well told that his father is his mentor. And if you ask many of us, our first mentor, our first hero is our father, and you are very well said about it. And even though you were first in Toastmastering, you had a very good body language. And my only advice is, please join Toastmastering very fast. And the next speaker is DTM Shiva. DTM Shiva, what can I tell about it? He's a seasoned Toastmaster. And the topic was featured in the few words. So DTM Shiva's for 1 year, I think the only future is Toastmastering president and growth of. So he was focused on full Toastmastering, how we can take to the next 1 year, how we can prosper in the next 1 year, the Toastmastering. The only one advice I feel I can give you is you could add some humor, put some humor somewhere here or there to add flavor to your speech. And the last topic is to Hafiz. Who do you turn when you need advice? He's a very good friend of mine, and I really was astonished by the way he spoke. It was really full humorous, and he has told it very correctly that the best person to turn is his wife. And I think that is the apt answer. Everybody should follow it. And only advices, please come and join Toastmasters. Then only we will give you proper advices. Overall, I enjoyed, and thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan, for the surgical evaluation of TT speakers. Thank you so much, and definitely the speakers and all the audience will be benefited out of it. And our evaluation session is formally end. And timers, please give the report.
Thank you. So
Mr. DTM, our Harish Bhargavan, he took 3 minutes 17 seconds, so out of the time limit. DTM Shivdasha, he took 2 minutes 53 seconds, so within time limit. Mr. DTM Manoj C. Mayor, he took 2 minutes 57 seconds within time limit. And Mr. TM Toastmaster Roshan Pratik, he took 2 minutes 45 seconds.
3 minutes 17 actually. He is also qualified, but 30 seconds grace time is
Okay,
there.
so he is also qualified. Thank you.
Okay, all of us, please cast the vote. Now the grammarian and word master, DTM Shibu Savior, can you please come to the lectern and give your report, please?
Mr. Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, once again, very warm good evening.
Good evening.
How many of you have used this word of the day? Thank you very much. I would like to emphasize it. You have to also use in your future communications. And I have noticed many good usages. Hardly I couldn't even to find any not so good usages. The meeting was very one of the lively meeting, and it was some sort of a class meeting. So thank you very much. Then once again I congratulate all the assignees. I thank VP Education, Toastmaster Roshan Patrick, to give me this learning opportunity. Thank you, and back to General.
Thank you, Wordmaster and Grammarian, DTM Shibu Savior, as you were vigilant in the meeting and gave the report. Thank you so much. Please give a thunderous applause to all the attendees who have participated in the evaluation session. Now it is my time to evaluate our meeting and proceedings. And we started the meeting on time, even if some of our members were late due to their office times and all. But still we could be started, and it is good that President and Toastmaster of the Day taken the charge and extended the times. It's good. And this meeting where all were arranged. And we have seen that our theme of the day and the word of the day is displayed. And theme of the day was explained well by Toastmaster of the Day, and most importantly, our President's speech was very encouraging, and it was what is our, as a members of Periyar, what we have to do. He has given the inspiration. And there is one thing I need to explain, that our Periyar banner and medals, it was not found. It is lost, but we have to find it. It really felt like belonging. And the meeting rules were explained well, and most importantly, the speeches. There was beautiful speeches and messages. How much we say, it is not matter how much we say, but what we say that matters. And the second speech, the 360-degree evaluation, 360-degree vision, principle. And third is make the changes within. The beautiful messages that we can carry. And that is the beauty of attending the Toastmastering, that I felt that this message is really make some value to our life. And I need to have one suggestion as our President and team. We have to contact we have an immense number of members, and basically we are a family-oriented club. So try to contact every person and have a connection with them. Definitely they will come back, and we have to have some special activities, which is something different what we following through the last so many years. So that will have more potential to the club and the meeting proceedings, and definitely to add value. I'm sure that DTM Toastmaster, DTM Shivadas and team can definitely lift up the things and make the things on track. And wish you all the best. And whenever they record, I am there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vichus here, for conducting that evaluation session in a professional manner. Give them a good round of applause. Now it is time for the winners. So may I call upon the vote counter and the president onto the podium, please.
Are you all excited to know the winner?
Yes.
The best speaker, TM Sushil Gupta. And the best TT speaker is Mr. Hafiz Malik.
Stay.
We will have a group photo later.
And the best evaluator award goes to TM Manoj C. Nair.
Thank you, vote counter Jewel Roshan, to announce the winners. Thank you, well done. You can go back and sit.
No, this is for
Thank you.
This is more of
Congratulations to all the assignees and all the speakers. And now it's a concluding part. It's my honor, I am highly privileged and honored to be the Toastmaster of the day. And just remember one thing from the theme, two things in actual. The beginning of any work is the most important part, and well begun is half done. So over to the president.
How was today's show? So all credit goes to TMC Nair and his group. See, I just thought that the number 3 has always influenced on me today also, because I took the role of presiding officer, then table topics, then evaluations. So number 3 will remain special. So moving on, let me call upon our VP Education to declare the next meeting. Toastmaster Roshan.
Once again, good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Actually, we are short of members. I got a word from Toastmaster DTM Vichu that he will be actively participating. I also request all the senior Periyarians, including all DTMs, that we should come out and continue with the pathways. So our next meeting is on 19th, that is 2 weeks from now, 19th of July. And we have assigned speakers, that is myself and Vedant Kumar and Manoj Kumar. I will get back to you for the assignees. Thank you.
So, it will be 19, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I hope we should make this another memorable meeting 19th. So today we are going to listen from our youth leaders only. Youth leader Divya, you can just talk to us the experience today you gained from this meeting. Because
Good evening, everyone, once again.
Good evening.
I'm very happy to be after YLP has been a great session for me. I've met new friends. I've met a lot of great speakers, and all of their speeches were marvelous. And it was such a memorable event for the whole session for around 1.5 months. And I felt very sad having the last day of grand finale in our YLP that I'll be missing our club Periyar. But I'm very happy for Manoj sir and Shala sir for giving me an opportunity to come back and have deliver my speech here. I'm very happy and meeting you all once again. Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. It was a great meeting today. I enjoyed a lot, and all the speakers were wonderful. Congratulations to all the winners, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
as youth leader Divya, we will continue the journey with together, okay? Because togetherness is always a strength. So we will inform you the upcoming meetings, and most of the youth leaders also can join. And next, youth leader Vedant have a few words about today's meeting.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I've had one of the best experiences in the YLP Toastmaster programs. I've made many friends, and I've attended workshops and learned a lot of things from them. And yes, it was a great experience. Today was my first Toastmaster with the adult Toastmasters, so it was also a great experience. Other than that, I hope we continue and keep improving. Thank you.
Today we Periyarians made history, right? The first one is there are many dresser people, that is not a history. And the other one is father and son together giving a roles today actually. So give a lot of applause. Thank you so much. This is the result, or this is the benefit of Toastmastering, right? Hope that my son will soon join here actually. Hope that either DTM Biju or DTM Manoj will give a suitable opportunity for him, then definitely he will be here. And don't feel that, because I don't know, the marketing is always coming to my mind. Maybe this is the whether I got is the credit goes to maybe Mr. Pai, or I don't know, but always there is something market. Don't feel bad. So Biju and Manoj, you please consider this option always, okay? Because what Biju told, right, we need to enhance our membership. Right? This is the option I am looking forward to. So I feel he is eligible and he is interested to work in Saudi Arabia. So please, anything you want to discuss? Yeah, Jewel, your time. Just to say a few words. All the yeah. See, another thing, father and daughter, father and son. What is
Father and daughter.
Then next maybe complete family maybe will be there actually in next few meetings, right? Jewel.
So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Today was a great meeting, and the meeting was on time. And I get to know how this meeting was proceeded, and it was great. And I could know what is the job of being a vote counter, and it was great. But most of all, my father did all the job. I said to him I will do it, but he is telling I'll do it. What to tell? I tried to take that chip, and he's telling I'll do it, not you. Take their hands off it. How will I know how I'll do that? So I didn't get complete experience of that. Yeah, next time I wanted to be vote counter and not get get my father's help and he says, then it goes to point. I would love to have again to experience another role in here, and I am very happy. Thank you.
See, the amazing thing was the transformation of a youth leader, right? Thank you so much. And again, Periyar made history today, father and daughter, right? So, father and son. So much. I think Periyar is in safe hands. I don't know, safe hands or something like that, but it will be, for me, is concerned as a team leader, it is easy because this kind of people are always with us, ready to support me. It is easy to run this year because I told initially I was very reluctant to take the role of Periyar president, but after that, because everything is cost, everything will happen, right? So I always believe in that. So, anything more to discuss?
Food has not yet come. Snacks is available. They are making food.
So we can have emotional intelligence. Come on. It is now your time. Without emotional intelligence, how can we survive a day in Periyar meeting? Okay, so it is yours.
Okay. Okay, where have you stopped? Okay, Vedant, how far have you progressed?
So you were telling about like a survey done in like Harvard, and many people were surveyed, and some of them went ahead to become great people and even president of America.
Yes.
Okay, right. So today, there is something that can help you. Snacks is ready, so you can grab your snacks, come back and sit. Okay? Yes, we have to give some time for the people to prepare our dinner as well. During the time, we will progress on this discussion. Okay? Just grab your snacks and come back.
That's a good idea.
I have this very difficult task of now. When you are busy taking your snacks, I have the challenge of gaining your attention. Okay? So this is a challenge. This is a very interesting challenge to take, since it is in front of people I know. This is a risk that I can afford to take, because you are not going to hit me hard or throw stones. Nothing like that. It's not going to happen. I have a question to youth leaders. You might have all heard of so many principles, so many advices many people would have given you. Some would have told you that if you are honest all the time, you will progress so far and you will amount to something in life. And you would have seen the same people who gave you that advice breaking that principle in their own life in front of you. Did you have that experience? Did your father or teacher tell you that you should always tell the truth, and immediately they turned back and told a plain lie to someone else? Yes, I had that experience. I think if you haven't, just wait. It is just a matter of time. You will see that. And someone else might have told you, if you are determined and pursue your goal with all your energy and passion, that is what will make you really succeed. Have you seen it? You have got it. And have you seen that people who have given you that advice, do they really live by that principle? No. So you are thrown with too many conflicting ideas, and the people who give you that idea, they themselves know that it didn't work out in their own life. They themselves are confused. And when a confused person gives us an advice, that makes the recipient totally confused. So are you in that space? Do you have that confusion as to what is the right thing to do? Okay. Today I am going to give you just a skill that is proven to work. Okay. Keep this in mind, and if you master it, for sure, it will set you ahead of the rest. Okay, are you interested to know what it is?
Yeah.
Right. A study was done in Stanford University, 4-year-old students. Okay, they were taken to a hall, and an experimenter came and told them, students, I will give you one marshmallow. The thing is that if you eat it immediately, that is not only one marshmallow you are going to get. But I will go outside, and after some time I will come back. When I come back, if you have managed not to eat that marshmallow, mean if you have the capability to resist your temptation to immediately grab that sweet and wait until I come back, at that time you will get 2 marshmallows. Is it clear? Right. So the experimenter did it with many different students. It was seen that about 30% of the students, as soon as the marshmallow was given and the experimenter left, they had it. Another about 30% of the students, they tried their level best, they tried to resist, to hold their urge, but they succumbed. By the time the experimenter came, it was within about 15 minutes, they had also taken it. The remaining 30%, they succeeded. They could hold their urge, and the experimenter came back and they were rewarded with 2 marshmallows each. The real finding came after about 12 years. These same 4-year-olds, they were followed after 12 years and saw how well they did in their life. Those students who could resist that temptation, they were seen to be better at studies, better in their social life, better in their health score, better in their SAT score by about a very significant percentage. So, this is the secret of delayed gratification. In front, you might have an immediate reward in front, and if it is reasonably certain that if you can push it back and work, concentrate on pursuing a better reward that is going to come to you in the future, if you have that capability within you, that is to avoid that immediate gratification and get a better reward in future, that is a superpower for taking you further in life. The real insight is one step further there. Thing is, this is something that can be practiced and mastered. Of those 30% of students who were able to resist the temptation and win that 2 marshmallows, what they did, that was most revealing. What they did is, they didn't stare at the marshmallow. As soon as the experimenter left, some of them ducked under the desk. Some of them went to the window and looked outside. On the other hand, those who were looking at the marshmallow and trying to resist that temptation to eat it, all of them failed. So, what it teaches us is, if you have a goal and there is something that is distracting you from progressing towards that goal, what you have to do is learn to turn your attention away from whatever that is distracting you. For example, if there is, you would like to quit a bad habit, like you would like to reduce your weight, or if you want to stick to a diet, and if the dietitian has told you that you have to stick to vegetables and fruits alone, but if you have a refrigerator that is stuffed with chocolate and fried chicken, that strategy is definitely going to fail. What you have to do is make sure that this temptation that is going to distract you away from your goal, turn your attention away from that kind of temptations and focus your attention on the goal. Alright? This is the power of delayed gratification, but it goes against what Aesop told us 2500 years ago. Aesop told, a bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. So, if you follow Aesop philosophy, a marshmallow in hand that is given, that is worth the 2 marshmallows you are going to get later. So, there is no difference whether you have it now or you wait for 2 marshmallows. That is what Aesop had told. So, but the experiment proves Aesop was wrong. Was indeed Aesop wrong? then who is right? What should we do? Should we, I mean, Aesop said one marshmallow in hand is worth 2 marshmallows later. But the experiment proves that 2 marshmallows later is far better than the 1 marshmallow in hand. So was Aesop wrong? Aesop was right for the time he lived. Because at that time when Aesop lived 2000 years ago, if you got a marshmallow in hand and if you believed some experimenter and if you decided not to have it, do you know how rare, how difficult was it to have a sweet at that time? Even the food for bare sustenance was a luxury 2000 years ago. And Aesop was a slave. So for Aesop, as soon as he gets something, immediately if he have it, then only he got it. Otherwise someone else is sure to grab away, and there is no history of ever somebody making good a promise made to a slave. So in those kind of situations, if you immediately have what you got, that is the right advice, but times has changed a lot. And at the time of Aesop, if 100 people sit in a hall, after about 1 week, how many of you will be alive if you take a risk, if you take a guess? It may be 90. Because that much high was even the mortality rate. But not so now. If 100 of us sit in a hall, after about 15 years, most likely about 99 of us or even 99.9 of us would be alive. That kind of progress we have achieved. That means the certainty or the uncertainty about the future has gone down a lot as we have progressed. Therefore, in our present day situation, Aesop is wrong. He was right at the time he's told, but times have changed, and accordingly we also have to change. So keep it in your mind. If you have a bigger goal to achieve in future, it is certain that you are going to live until that future. So it is better to concentrate and try to achieve what you would like to have in your would like to have what you would like to want to come true in your future. It is better to work for that, because it is almost certain that you are going to live to see that day. So be prepared for it and try to learn to turn your attention away from what is going to pulling you away into different directions. All right? This is the secret of delayed gratification. I will ask you when I see you next time. All right? With that, over to TMC. This is the beauty of Periyar TMC Club. Any situation can be managed with lively sessions. So thank you, DTM Harish. So, Manoj Krishnan, what I told you, we will wind up the meeting before 9, right?
Yeah.
See, so we are always concentrating on the time. So, my dear friends, as our everybody saying, always have the attitude of gratitude. Remember the past with gratitude. Leave the present with enthusiasm. Look forward to the future with confidence. With that, let me adjourn the meeting and we will have a group photo. Thank you so much. See you all on 19.